Hello and welcome in. My name is Daryl and we're going over the basics of Inkscape. Today's lesson is on the Select tool. Now if you look at my mouse cursor, you can see there's a star with it, indicating that I am on the Stars and Polygons tool. The Select tool is in the left-hand side at the top of the toolbar. It's the arrow. You can also get there by hitting the S on your keyboard. When you have an item selected, you can see that arrows show up in the box around your item. There's an up-down arrow that you can click and drag to adjust the height of an item. There is a left-right arrow to adjust the width of that item. And arrows at the corner adjust height and width at the same time. If you hold the Control key while adjusting the height and width, it will keep the same perspective. If you hold the Control and Shift key at the same time, you'll notice a plus sign or a placement indicator at the center of your item, whether it's a square or a star or whatever you have. And with that Control and Shift, it maintains the same center position while adjusting the perspective. If you click on an item a second time, you get rotate and skew handles. Up, down, skew that, and I'm hitting Control Z to set it back. Left, right will skew that direction. You have corner handles to adjust the rotation. And with nothing else chosen, when you select on click and drag on one of those corner rotation handles, it will rotate it freely. If you hold the Control key, it will move it in increments. The default is every 15 degrees. This can be changed in your preferences under Behavior and Steps. Now, if you want to choose multiple items, you simply drag a box around them. If that box does not fully go around the item, like with this purple star, it will not be chosen. So if we drag a box around everything, now you can see that there are multiple items hidden underneath this purple star. If you hold the Alt key and click on the purple star, it will select it. Still holding the Alt key, if you click once more, it will go one position behind it. And yet again, one more position behind to select the smallest star. And depending on how many objects you have hidden behind, it will rotate back to the top one. So you can cycle through them. Another cool trick you may not have known. See, if you hold the Alt key and you have a scroll wheel on your mouse, you can scroll between the layers, still holding the Alt and drag out the one you would like. When you let go of the Alt key, you'll see this kind of transparency fade as it goes back to visibly showing what's on top. If you have an individual item selected, or if you have multiple items selected, and you drag those, you can hit the space bar and stamp out additional duplicates. Another way you can select multiple items is by holding the Shift key and individually clicking on each one. You can also hold the Alt key and drag a line through just those items you would like selected. In the toolbars at the top, when you have an item selected, you have multiple options here. Some common ones used are to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise. Now on a star that's not necessarily visible, I'll switch and I'll draw a rectangle real quick. Go back to the Select tool and you can rotate it 90 degrees You can also flip it horizontal and vertical. So if I wanted to flip it, you notice that now the top of the star is pointing to the right rather than the left as the others are. Now we have this point at the bottom. We can flip it vertically so that it is with the top of the star pointing up and 2 pointing down. The X and Y refer to your position on the canvas. As you drag an item around, you can see those change. If you want to set a particular height or width of an object, you've got the H and the W here. H is height, so if we wanted 50 height, now it looks kind of skewed, so we can Control Z. We can hit this lock icon, and that'll keep the aspect ratio the same. So if we change it to 50, it also adjusts the width. Your drop down here adjusts what measurement you're using: millimeters, pixels, inches, or points. And then these are a little more advanced options for your fill and stroke and scaling. And that concludes our lesson for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you like and follow this video.